Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Go for a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
With something like 5 million podcasts, finding a really good one can take a ton of time. So let me recommend one. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and in each episode, we discuss topics that can be really helpful, like how to read people better, the psychology of crowds, or fun things like the story of Legos, or why you probably wouldn't be here if it weren't for horses. Something You Should Know is the name of it, wherever you get your podcasts.
What's up, everyone? It's Noah Daniels.
Hey y'all, I'm JJ.
Hey guys, it's Kat.
And we're your hosts of the Real Hauntings podcast, where we bring on guests who share their first-hand encounter ghost stories and supernatural experiences. Now on to the trailer.
I've been warned to not tell this story, but I think because of the way it ends, it's okay to tell this story, because some people say that with certain entities, to like speak of them or talk about them or in any way like portray them as powerful will attract them to other people. The creepiest thing about it to me is a lot of times it would wait for me to notice it. Like, it would just lay its arm out like this, and then I'd be like, where is it? Where is it? And then I'd see it, and then it would just slither back.
For more information on the Real Hauntings, Real Ghost Stories podcast, make sure you check out real.fm to learn more about our podcast and many other amazing podcasts.
Hello, everybody. Oh my gosh. Welcome back to the podcast. This is Don't Blame Me with Megan Rinks. And today we have a special guest, Arden. I was almost going to say Arden. Can I say Arden Ricks or do you say Arden Rose?
You can say either.
Okay. I'm like, I know you on a personal level. We just talked about how I know your dad's last name, your dad's first name. So I'm like, I mean, I know you. You're still in my, do you know you're still in my phone as Arden motherfucking Rose?
That's great.
Yeah.
I'm not sad about that at all, actually.
Thanks for being here in my house.
Yes. Oh my gosh, you've got such a beautiful home.
Thank you. This is the only part that's clean.
Well, when it is all clean, I want to come over and see all of it.
Yeah,
it's
that
so
room
cool.
is, they know. This room is like the disaster.
Why? What is it?
Every PR package I've ever received.
Oh, no, I can't.
And I've like half opened and then decided I don't want them. But I'm like, I'm just going to leave it in there until someone else who doesn't live here is going to be able to take care of it.
Yep. I live in a 1-bedroom apartment. So I feel you. It's piled up. My closet is a disaster zone.
Oh, see, I like to stack. I need a whole other room just to put crap in. Or in this case, 2 other rooms to put crap in.
I wish I could have that. Like, I need to not live in Venice.
Yeah, move over here.
I need to go somewhere else.
Well,
I know. We'll plan it out. You can be my real estate agent next year.
I would love that. I could drive you around in my mom car.
Yes.
I can bake cookies, water bottles, tea, orange slices, Capri Suns.
Oh my God.
Like
fuel me.
left over here, we have Beverly Wood.
I love it. Can you wear like a really cute little like pinstripe suit as well?
Yes, very Hillary Clinton. Can I wear a wig or like a chignon?
100%. Only if you keep saying chignon.
Is that how you say it?
Chignon.
Chignon.
Indeed.
In chignon. Oh my God, I love it. Well, welcome back to the podcast, guys. If you have not heard before, this is my advice podcast where you guys call in, you leave voicemails, you tell us about the problems in your lives, and we do our very best to fix your problems. And if you guys want to call in and leave a voicemail, the phone number is 310-694.
You were killing it. You were killing it.
I've never gotten it right. I got it right once.
I still don't know.
310-694-0976. Oh, fuck me up.
Yes.
Wow. It's like I know what I'm doing.
I'm so proud of you. It's like you host a podcast.
I don't even know Mott's phone number. The other day we talked about it because my iCloud wasn't working and I was like, babe, what's your phone number? And he was like, what?
How do you know?
And I was like,
no one remembers
something.
No one remembers phone numbers anymore.
Yeah. He recited mine then and I was like, oh, my bad.
Oh, that's so typical. Will could probably do the same thing.
Yeah.
We have very similar boyfriends where it's
you're
like, oh, you care more about this than I do.
Okay. When you're like, you couldn't do it. And you're like, oh, no, you can. I'm an awful human.
Ooh, okay, so I'm the bad one, aren't I?
love you.
Ooh, love. Here's a kiss. Kiss, kiss, kiss. Kiss, kiss, kiss.
So yeah, if you guys treat it international calls or hop on into it.
We can, well, I was just going to say that Jack is running a little bit late because he's working on Mr. Student Body President.
No, because he's a turd,
shit.
obviously.
I gotta respond to the email about ADR. So guys, Jack is late. Bow, 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 which is fine. At least he's not sick. Is he sick this time?
No.
No,
Well,
he's
he's kind of sick. He is kind of sick.
He's sick in the head.
He's sick in the head for being late.
Yeah.
So
Obviously.
Mel's here. I mean, Mel's always here, but now
Yeah.
she gets a microphone. And
Hello.
when Jack
Yay.
comes in, we're not gonna let him take over.
Okay.
No.
He can just sit and like listen and watch.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're late.
Yeah, that's what
Punishment.
happens. He gets a detention. So should we hop into calls?
Yes, let's do it.
I feel like you're gonna be really good at this.
I'm so excited.
I was excited the questions I picked for you to do with this. You're also just going to be like, wow, Megan, these are so sexual. Because I'm like, it'll be fun to do with Arden.
Oh, it's okay. Last time I was on a podcast, I talked all about how I think you guys saw my giant dildo on my bedside
Yeah,
table. So.
it was.
Wow.
I saw it. It was
okay.
What color is it?
flesh colored.
Nude. Yep.
Yeah.
I know. But okay. I also feel weird about fucking myself with something purple.
Okay.
I don't know.
I understand.
I don't know. That's too much. Okay, let's go into a call.
Hey, Megan. My name is Sarah, and I'm 21 years old, and I have been dating my boyfriend for a little over 2 years. So that being said, I have been faking my orgasms for the past 2 years. I know that sounds really, really bad, but, you know, obviously it just started out as just a few innocent fake orgasms, just to make him feel good about himself. But, you know, 2 years in, I don't really need to make him feel good about himself anymore. So, so I just need some advice onto how to not obviously just stop having vaginal orgasms, because he thinks I'm the unicorn, and I am not a unicorn. So, anything that you can think of onto how to not obviously just stop having vaginal orgasms would be really, really great, because I really see myself marrying this guy, and I don't want a whole life full of fake orgasms. You know, I want real orgasms.
I feel like it was Rihanna or Nicki Minaj. I can't remember which one that said that nobody's got time to fake orgasms anymore.
No. I remember that. Did you ever have that part of your life?
Yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Whoa, calling out an ex.
We'll bleep his name.
Calling out an ex.
I
Oh, you're like, yep. I think like grand total, I came 3 times dating him.
Oh.
Grand total.
Yeah.
And that's like handling my own biz.
100%.
No.
No, I don't even have publicly said it, but I've said it with my friends. Mats is like the first guy that I've ever not faked it with.
Yeah, right?
Like 100%.
You find that one. That's your number one.
That's why, because I wanted to date a recovering fuckboy. I'm like, I need someone who knows what the fuck he's doing, who's like literally fucked all of the bitches, and then is like, no, I'm pretty confident in this. He'll be happy I said this. Whatever, it's true. He's like a recovering frat boy.
I love it.
Yeah.
But he's making you come. Who cares?
Exactly. And that's why I want to date is somebody who's like not like who knows what they're doing in the sense too. Because
And also
like,
isn't ignorant of the fact that girls don't orgasm all the time.
yeah, exactly.
That's the most annoying thing is when guys don't get it and then they're offended by
Yeah.
it. It's like, it's not an offensive thing.
Yeah.
It's just not always as easy as pressing
or
3 buttons.
even possible at all. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
I mean, Arden and I will probably recommend the same book for you. This is what I would say. My full blown, just like normal advice.
Full blown.
Full blown blow. I mean, not opposite. Okay. I'm trying
blow,
to like
blow. I'm just thinking of Beyonce now. It's fine.
Is okay. So there's this book called She Comes First.
Amazing.
And literally just casually read it around him and then leave it on your bedside table. I fucking guarantee you the cover is a papaya. Like it looks
very,
like
very yonic papaya.
it literally is a pussy papaya.
Yes.
He's going to
Eat
see
my
it.
pussy papaya.
Literally, like it's subliminal messaging. He's going to pick up the book and he's going to read it and he's going to have a full blown like sexual like
awakening.
epiphany.
It's amazing. I've realized though, like, so Will's the same way. He picked it up and of course,
yeah.
you know.
I did that to Mott's too.
Yes.
But like not because he needed to. But
No.
it was more just
But
like,
just like, hey, why
let's
not?
see.
Yeah.
We're already great at this.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we
What
can do.
else can we do? And oh man, you can do some other stuff. Yes, you can.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, I think like to get back to the question though, that's really tough because what you've done is tied in his ego with your orgasm, and that's a really hard thing to just break because that's something you've ingrained in him. That every time you have sex, if you do not orgasm or fake it, you are failing at sex. That's like the A to B problem that you've created for yourself. So I don't know if that's a thing where you have to just be fucking honest. I was never honest. we just broke up. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, finally I can come.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's been years. It's cobwebs down there.
True.
Like, yeah.
I think like if you see yourself ending up with this guy, I mean, there's a part of me that I'm like, if you didn't see yourself ending up with this guy, I just like continue faking it until you break up and then just like never talk about it and then just start fresh with a new guy.
And that's honesty right
well,
there.
yeah, 100%. Because I have never, like, literally never told any of the guys I faked it with before that I was faking.
No.
Ever.
Mm-mm.
Like, even if it meant improving our sex life, I was kind of like, no, too much confrontation, just going to break up.
For some reason, it was just a lot easier to stroke an ego.
Completely.
Or a dick. Whoa. Then get someone to just fucking eat me out.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I
but
mean?
then, like,
in the right way.
And going into a new relationship, then it's kind of like you're starting fresh and you can be a little more like demanding and also a little bit more honest because like you're not like being like, I'm so sorry I lied all of this time. I can kind of like have this like confidence in like what I need in this. So if you see yourself ending up with him, I think Arden's right. You got to just like
bite the bullet.
Yeah. And just
say
fully,
something.
and he'll get over it.
Yeah.
He will, because that's also, I mean, as he probably also, not that he knows that you're faking it, but there is, I mean, you're going to say it and I don't know how much you'll like fully surprise him.
Yeah, there's a suspended suspense of belief if someone thinks that you're actually orgasming every single time, especially as a girl. Like just reading stats online, you know that doesn't happen.
Completely.
So it's like just be fucking honest about it.
Yeah.
And if you can't be honest about it, then just like make it work. Like start trying to actually orgasm during sex. Because that was the other thing. Like I realized after
you were just like mentally like it's not happening.
Yeah, I know, because you get into a mental block where you're like, I know this is not going to happen. And I know that this is just like a process that I have to go through. And then like fucking on the weekends, I can go wild. Me. Like you just need to break that mold. Because even just like in my own head, I've had an orgasm block before. And I think a lot of women do.
Yeah.
Where you just assume that you're not going to come. So you don't even try. Because it is physical effort. Like if you're masturbating on your own, you know that it's like, you have to get pumped. You got to get fucking pumped up a little bit. Or like I can't orgasm if I've had something to drink. I get whiskey clit.
Oh, whiskey clit. Oh, I love that. I've never heard that term. I've heard whiskey dick, but not whiskey clit.
Yeah, unless I'm trying really hard, in which case.
Like you're like, this has to happen.
Yeah, but then it's like, man, I'll be
exhausted.
sore the next morning. I'm like, it was too much effort.
God.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, fuck, good night's sleep.
I think the other thing is too, is if you feel uncomfortable either confronting it and you also still want to end up together, I'm thinking, what if you also, if you just suggest new stuff into your sex life, and maybe if you're reading that book and you don't want to be like, by the way, I've been faking it, if you can get him to actually make you come, that is going to be ranked as like a gold star orgasm versus a vaginal one, that he's going to be more inclined to do that to get you to that other one.
So 100%.
Yeah. So I think it's kind of like if you can show the difference of, because like I'm sure you can't fake one as great as like your real one would actually be.
Yes.
And so I think he'll try and get you to the real one.
Yes.
From there.
Because there's a huge fucking difference.
Oh, do you ever think about that now where you're like, I don't know how I tricked so many guys into thinking.
No. I think I got really good at like squeezing my muscles a certain way, but even that just doesn't cut it.
I could never fake it with Mott's now. Like literally he faked. That's just, nope, that's
You're lying.
Full-blown lie.
Your vagina is lying.
Your vagina is lying to me. But it's also super normal. So like know that. Like
And also specifically the fact that she's saying vaginal orgasms. Yeah. I'm like, dude.
I can count on one hand the amount of times that's happened to me.
Right? Or like if you're gonna come vaginally, I feel like there has to be some
other factor.
Yeah, there
100%.
has to be some sort of like clitoral pressure
other
situation.
Stimulation.
Yes, because there's certain like positions where it's like I can understand how that would be possible, but like other times there is not enough pressure for that to even be possible.
It's like you're scratching the back of my neck and being like, you gonna come? And it's like, these are very far away.
Sucking on my left nipple.
This is so great for me.
Oh, hot.
It happened.
Hot.
Whoa. Oh.
Yes. And also, I don't know if your boyfriend watches porn, but porn is a huge factor in like people not understanding real orgasm versus fake orgasm. And I would recommend, if porn is an issue or something that you've thought of like entertaining with your partner, because also porn helps me orgasm. So like sometimes it's nice to watch it if you're like so not in the mood and someone else is, and sometimes it can help out or it can weird you out. I've had both. Where I'm like, no, now it just looks like organ smashing and I don't like it. I don't want it.
So physical.
Yeah. But there's a subreddit called Chick Flicks with 3 X's at the end.
Oh, do they have plot lines?
Plot lines, but also it's couples. So it's like Like people, it's
Who
like
care about getting each other off.
Yeah, and it's like amateur. So it'll be someone like sets up their phone, and it's like people just like, it would be like if I sent a sex tape to Will or something, he would then it's couples that think that shit's hot and would like post it online anyway, and so it's just like normal ass couples, just like having sex, and sometimes that's
way more
better.
relatable.
Yeah, and like they're actually like enjoying it, and it's good, and sometimes it's gross, but sometimes it's good. So I mean, if that's a problem, because porn can sometimes be an issue with like thinking girls need to orgasm really quickly or whatever. Videos like that are good to just like break that cycle of thinking girls like get touched on the clit and they're like, no.
Yeah, like girls coming from being like titty fucked. Yeah. And you're like, meh.
I'm like, stop it. Stop it. You are not.
No, it's just cruel. You're ruining teenage boys.
Seriously, I do believe.
I feel like we definitely solved your problem.
Yeah.
Mel is like, move on, please.
Time to go. Stop.
Time to go, girls.
Okay.
On to the next call.
Hi, Megan. So I don't know if this question is related to sex, but I'm 15 and I'm kind of nervous for my first gynecologist appointment and like my first pap smear and everything. So I would like to know like your first experience and everything because I'm so scared.
Aw, that's so sweet.
I feel like you're going to be better at answering this than me.
Why? Do you get major anxiety around gynecologists?
Megan may or may not have not gone to a gynecologist since she was 16.
Oh my God.
I'm 24.
It's okay. I went to one like a year and a half ago.
Okay, can you give me and this girl advice? Because I am her, but I'm not 15.
Yes, 100%. Well, so I guess for me, I hate doctor's offices. I was just talking about this with the ladies around this table before we started doing this. I hate doctor's offices. So like I 100% understand. I'm not really worried so much about like the examination. I've realized that like the weirdest things make me uncomfortable. Like the thought of like, should I shave my pubic hair?
Yeah.
Do I go on my period? Like these random things. And then I realize this person has seen so much snatch in their life. They don't give a fuck what yours looks like. They're just there for you. It's like looking at a finger for them. They're like, oh, great finger. Move on.
Wait, what? Can you describe to me what a gynecologist appointment is like?
Last time I went, I didn't have to get a pap smear, which was nice.
What do they do? Is a pap smear that like weird like tongs they stick?
It's just a swab situation, but
How
they
big is
do
the swab?
The swab is like a long cotton swab.
Like what they did it for my when I got my nose done.
Yes.
Same thing.
Yes, because I watched those videos and I know exactly what you're talking about. It's like a medical swab.
Wow. Okay.
So it's not a big deal. The only thing that's even remotely uncomfortable, they don't like poke you or prod you or anything. They just have these things called
Speculum.
Speculum. That's what it was. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So I think I went like as they were like kind of open you up because they want to be able to swab.
Oh, to make a noise? I'm sorry. I'm keep spoiling this.
I went, oh Lord, in that voice, like I did that, and my gynecologist just laughed. Like she was just like, "Okay," but it was my first time ever seeing her because I was like, I got paranoid about pap smear stuff, so I was like, I just got to go do it. So I just went to someone in Santa Monica, ZocDoc'd it. And I was like, I'm just going to fucking do it and not even think about it. I'm just going to do it. Because sometimes you just got to like put something in your calendar and just not think about it. Just like go. And the first thing that I said when I sat down was like, can you make sure, like, you're not going to poke me with anything, right? Like, I don't want to get poked. I don't care what else you do with me. Like, fucking punch me if you want. I don't want to get poked with anything.
Like the labia?
Yeah, I don't want to get poked. I don't know. I don't want to get my like cervix numbed or whatever. Like, I don't want any needles up in my snatch. Like, I just leave it. So yeah, none of it's painful. I guess the biggest thing is just like uncomfortability. Like if you're nervous about it, you're going to be nervous about it. But if you're just like, this is something that's essential to my health, something that I need to do and I need to get over it so that I could be a healthy, happy human with a healthy, like happy vagina and like not worry about problems, then you just got to like greater than, less than. Would you rather like something come up that's scary later on or get it over with and feel like healthy?
Yeah.
You know?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're really fast too.
Yeah. Oh, it's so quick. Like it's so quick.
It takes less than 10 minutes. Really.
Yeah. Really? It's so fast. And that's the other shocking thing. They're not going to like get you ready or anything and be like, okay, hon, are you ready for this? No, they're just like, okay, well, here we go.
Because in the movies, you're literally there like naked in a gown for like 3 hours waiting for your gynecologist.
So no. And if they are, give them a bad review on Yelp. Because that is not how it should be.
Yeah. Like the last time I went, I was like, the first time I should say, I went, I was like, oh, that's it. And it was like, I didn't even realize it was over.
Yeah, it's done. It's so quick. You hype it up in your brain. And also, you're right. In the media, they make it like this thing where someone's like sitting in the stirrups and like so nervous. I remember before I went, I watched a Mad Men episode where that was happening. Like she was trying to get.
that was the
exactly.
50s, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It was like 50s, 60s, like early 60s. I don't know. But that's like they make it a bad situation because it was bad back then. But now it's like, and that's how most media is. They just make it like this uncomfortable thing. But it's like, fuck off, you male writers that wrote like a sad gynecologist room. Like, fuck off. This is for my vaginal health.
Well,
not
I guess
yours.
I should go.
Yeah.
Me
go.
and this caller.
Caller, please go.
Yeah.
Because
Go.
it's just worth it. Although you're 17, you don't need to get a pap smear until you're a little bit older.
You have to start going when you're sexually active, right?
Yeah.
I remember I just lied all
Yes,
through high school.
you should be sick. Yeah,
right.
you should go.
Okay, well, I went when I was 20.
Especially like
Yeah.
getting STD tests and stuff too.
Right. Oh, I did
yeah.
do that though.
Yeah.
Because when I went to Planned Parenthood for my birth control, I had to get an STD test.
Oh. On to the next call.
Hey, Megan. So I am 21 years old, and I have kind of a big one for you. So my boyfriend is going to be going to prison in 30 days. I know that sounds crazy. So a little bit of context. He sold kind of a lot of drugs in his past, and this happened before I knew him. And he went through the court process for about a year and a half, and I met him kind of halfway going into that. And so we've been together for a year and a half, and he's been waiting sentencing for a long time, and he finally got sentenced. So he's going to be doing 6 months in prison and then 6 months in a prison rehab. And it's just kind of rocking the world because I've been living with him for about a year now. And he's a completely different person. He has not touched any drugs. He doesn't drink anymore, but he still has to obviously suffer the consequence. And I am just kind of going crazy with like grief, I guess, and like I just feel like I don't know what to do, and I don't know how to comfort him, and I don't know what to do for myself because I'm going to be all alone for a whole year, and I love him, and I want to stay with him, but I'm just kind of really lost, and I don't have a lot of girlfriends to talk to this about, so I figured I would ask you. So if you have any advice, I would really appreciate it, and I won't blame you.
I just want her to move in with me.
Dude, right?
I want her to come and live with us.
Wow. That's, I will say, surprisingly, I've never been in this situation before.
Yeah, shockingly. I've never had the love of my life go to prison.
No, I've dated a lot of drug dealers, but not once did I ever date them when they actively had to serve time. But, oh my God. Fuck. I mean, here's what I would say as like the prison shit, that's intense. I would say date like just like have to be real with you, fucking intense. I've dated druggies or like users kind of a thing. And the thing I'll say is like someone being clean for a year in the scope of everything is not that long of a time. So I think like you, no matter how much you love him and all of that stuff and want to support him and be there for him through him going through all of this stuff, you need to, because you're also young, like this time where he's doing his time, like that needs to be a time for you to like just live your life.
Yeah, figure out what you want.
Yeah, because you don't want to be that. Like, I'm not saying don't like wait for him, but don't like let life pass you by.
Yeah.
If you have any sort of inclinings or feelings about like either wanting to like break up or even just like not visit for a little while, like don't make this whole year about him because he needs to make this year about like himself.
Yeah, and don't go pining.
Yeah.
Don't pine.
No, because it's a fucking intense thing, but like that's like a personal growth thing that he has to go through.
Yeah.
And so,
because you were right. I mean, you're honest. You said he has to suffer the consequences of his past, and that's true. And he's going to have to go through a very rough time. Prison is not a fun time.
Yeah, Arden's been.
Listen, I conceal all my teardrop tattoos at all times.
It's good.
Yeah.
Kat Von D, tattoo cover up?
It's pretty good. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's pretty
nice.
good. She does a good one. Yeah, no. Wait, did she say that she'd been dating him before she knew all this shit?
No, after.
And she knew going into the
Yeah.
relationship that all this stuff was going on. You were an edgy lady.
Yeah,
You're
I was
going
like,
in. You got some
honey,
kinky shit that
you
like.
attracted some bad shit.
Yeah, God. I mean, that's interesting. I mean, if you really love him and you think he's a nice guy and you don't think that like there's anything behind this that would worry you, then I understand like being excited to see him back. But I think the problem is that you're going to make your whole life about him for a year and like he's going to be away.
And
then,
he can't make it all about you for a year.
No.
It's not reciprocated because he's
No.
literally in jail.
Yeah. And you don't want to be in emotional jail
No.
while he's gone.
True.
See what I'm saying?
Very, very true.
I don't know. It's like being in purgatory. So it's
Yeah.
like just don't do it to yourself. You're so young.
Mhm.
That's the other thing. I'm like, like you said, We've all dated a drug dealer.
Yeah,
You don't
dude, true.
like you don't need
I've dated enough for the room. But I mean, like, yeah, no, it's like there's something. I also would say, like, not. God, I feel like every time a caller comes in, I'm like automatically being like, "There's something wrong with you." There's not anything wrong with you, but I think like knowing that you're gonna date. Like, I had a friend who went on a date with like a guy who like a first date, and he told her on the first date, it was like, "By the way, I have to tell you this because like my counselor's making me tell people I'm going on dates with, but like I'm currently up for a sentencing for like I'm gonna go to jail. I've been convicted for a crime, but like they're like deciding my sentencing." And my friend like went on a first date with a guy and didn't go on a second date. So I think for you, I don't know if you were friends with him before or if you met him, but if you're consciously like going to go out with somebody after you found out all of this stuff that they're in the middle of, I think that's something like for you, are you like looking to be a part of like like, you know, like those people who like love to fix people? I'm like, is that kind of
fixer.
like, yeah. And I wonder if like, do you feel like you've kind of like gotten caught up in that whole thing?
And the idea of making him like a better person at the end of it. And I think probably also what you've done is something that we've all fallen into where our boyfriends or our significant others are our best friends.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know I'm like that. Will's definitely my best friend. And I don't mind it because he's also not going to prison.
Yeah.
But well, as far as I know, that'd be kind of hot. But no, for Will to go to prison, he'd have to do something fucking nuts.
Dude, it would be, no, he'd have to do something really smart. Like he'd have to like Pentagon hack some shit.
Ooh,
I
like
don't see him
whistleblower,
I don't
coding.
see him robbing anything or using any sort of physical force.
Definitely not. I feel bad because I feel like you made him your best friend and also you don't have a lot of girlfriends, as you've said. And so you have no support outside of this person that's going to be gone for a year. Like you gotta find, I know it's like a tough thing to say, but you gotta find outside support that's not that person.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna get a skewed view of reality through that, through and through. And it's going to be really hard to make an educated decision or an unbiased decision about your relationship if the only person you're going to for advice is a person who benefits from you staying with him.
Yeah.
Like you got to find someone else that can give you clarity. I guess that's us.
Well, no, completely. But I was also going to say both you and I, like until like the last like 2 years or so, this relationship that I'm currently in is the first relationship I've been in where I've had friends who are girls.
Yeah.
Like both
same.
you and I both were very much like the dating the guy. He's like, Mott's is still my best friend. But like the previous guys both of us have dated, it was like those were the only people really in my life.
Yes.
Was
so
it.
true. So
I
true.
was in these pretty, like, I'm not saying your relationship is toxic, but it's impossible. Exactly what you're saying. It's impossible to know because the only people who you talk to are the people who are in your who is in your relationship.
And that's too close to make a call.
Yeah. And it's also, it's hard for you to kind of understand exactly like the scope of like everything in perspective of like your whole world, but then also kind of getting some outside opinions. And if you ever, you're able to validate your feelings because like you don't have to squash stuff and you can go to friends and talk about other things.
And you need it. Like as I've gotten older, because we are the same, we are on the same fucking life path where it was just
I love
like,
it.
Yeah, but it's true. Like, and also, you know, it took us a while to find girlfriends that we liked
Completely.
too. So that's the other thing. Like you got to take some time to find the people that you like and not feel pressure to just try and like people.
Yeah, no, don't accept shitty friends.
Oh, don't ever do it. It's so bad.
It's not worth it.
So not worth it. It's such a drain. So just like find the people that you like. I mean, it doesn't even like, you know, it doesn't have to be your boyfriend all the time.
And I think also important to like foster relationships with other people because I don't think you should put the pressure on him during his time in jail thinking about, wow, she's at home by herself. She has no friends. She has nobody. And he's spending this time, which he should really be like working on himself, like worrying about you and feeling like he's abandoned you and all that stuff. I think the best thing you can do for both of you is to really like take the year to do like separate journeys, even if it means staying together, but like really focusing on your own stuff. So he can like feel okay with that too.
Love it. Best advice ever right there.
Yeah. And prison changes you too. So you
Dude,
don't know if he's going to be the same.
That is the tagline of this.
Yeah. You don't know if he's going to be the same when he gets out.
So true. So true.
Yeah. Okay, guys, we'll be right back. We're gonna take a commercial break because we are like a TV show, but without Kristen Bell.
Or visuals.
Yeah, true. That's the bigger one. This episode of Don't Blame Me is brought to you by me. Wow. It's Megan, guys. Don't worry. Still here. Haven't changed a thing. In this ad placement, we've decided to use this time to ask you guys to do me a little bit of a solid. Do us a favor. If you have enjoyed listening to this podcast, which, I mean, if you made it all the way to like this ad right here, that means you've listened to like half of the episode. You're obviously enjoying it. And if you're enjoying it, it would mean the world to me if you left us a review on the Apple Podcast app. I mean, it's going to be a good review, guys, right? You're not going to let me down. I would love to hear your positive remarks. Give me some validation, like I'm driving my car out of a parking garage. Validation jokes. It would be great. It really helps us keep the podcast going. And more than that, it really makes me feel good late at night when I read mean YouTube comments, and then I can just go and read nice comments about the podcast. I would absolutely love it. And hey, in your reviews too, you can leave maybe what your favorite episode was, what your favorite kind of calls are, who your favorite guest was, or like what your dream guest is, or anything like that. Would love to hear some of that stuff in the reviews. We can make it fun, make it feisty. Throw a little eggplant emoji. Can you leave emojis in reviews? I don't know. Maybe you can. Hey, if you can, that'll be our inside joke. And I'll know that you listened to this ad because you left an eggplant emoji. So again, if you guys could leave us some nice reviews on the Apple Podcast app, it would mean the world to me. Oh God, Megan, speak English. It would mean the world to me. So guys, this is it. I'm going to stop talking to you in this context, and I'm just going to talk to you in the other context. So back to the episode. Okay, guys, we are back from the break in which everyone yelled at me for not going to the doctor.
No, we love you so much. It's not an aggressive thing. You should go for your own health.
Yeah. Okay.
Obviously.
Well, on to the next question, which hopefully is not about doctors.
Yay.
Hi, Megan. My question is, how can a young woman like 21, 22, how can she be more comfortable with her like sexual energy and being just a female? I'm 22 years old. I did not lose my virginity until this past April, and I waited like 4 months into the relationship because I didn't want to be viewed like as easy or anything like that. So now that I'm no longer a virgin, I was just wondering, like, you know, right now I don't want a relationship. My relationship ended a few months ago, but there's a part of me that was still like sex, but I feel like it would kind of be dirty if I had sex while not being in a relationship. And I'm trying to kind of get over the fact of like seeing sex as wrong or dirty, and just kind of being comfortable with the fact that I do have sexual energy and that that's okay. And this is something I struggled with for a long time, and I just wanted to hear your opinion.
Dude, fuck.
Like, just fuck. Safely.
Yeah.
But fuck.
But just fuck.
Oh, it's so good.
Girl.
It's so good.
Dude,
just
fuck all the time.
Yeah.
Like there's not, and I also think there's something, I think there's either the people who lost their virginity really young and kind of did that whole thing of like having like multiple sexual partners in relationships, because that's such a high school thing, is to go from like having a boyfriend, or you're waiting until you're older, and then it's kind of like you feel that weird pressure of being like, well, I've only ever had sex in a relationship, but now I don't really want to be in a relationship, but I want to have sex.
And that's called being grown.
Yeah.
As a grown-ass woman.
That's being an adult.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. She says that, well, you can tell that she has like an issue with like easiness, because obviously waiting.
That's a construct for that's something that you've heard other people talk about.
Yes, that you're applying to your own life.
Yeah.
So if you if you think waiting 4 months is like the cutoff to being easy.
No.
I slept with Will the second night that I ever saw his face. Like no pressure. And now we've been in a 3-year relationship. He doesn't think I'm easy.
Yeah, and I'm also kind of a believer it doesn't really matter when you sleep with somebody. I think it matters how your energy which I hate energy. Your like energy going into that kind of thing. So if you're going into something with the mentality of like, this is a one night stand, and you hook up with someone like literally who you meet that night at a bar, and that's what you're putting out that you want. If you've gone on like 6 dates with somebody, or you've gone on 1 date with somebody and you had dinner and went to a movie and like you hook up afterwards, it just has to be like what you're looking for, and you put that energy out way more than you think that you do. And also I find a lot of girls like, it's this whole thing of being like, you don't want to be perceived as easy because who calls other girls easy? Girls. Like,
so true.
And also, I just want to say, as somebody who like, there's this weird thing, like when you're younger and either you're not having sex or you're like awkward and ashamed, the amount of girls that I called sluts when I was like 14.
Yes.
And that guilt that you feel when you're suddenly like understanding like, oh, I want to have sex, but damn, am I eating my own words because I've talked shit about other people like this?
You're eating your own dick.
Yeah, you're sucking your own dick. Just do it. But that's what I would say is like, I think you kind of need to, if you've been that judgmental person to other people, accept the fact that is just something that you went through, and like judging other people for doing that. And you can come to your own like forgiveness of yourself for saying that. And that doesn't mean that you're a bad person, but it just means that like we grow up ignorant of like that kind of stuff, and we judge people, and you don't have to, it's not being a hypocrite. So I think like take over. I mean, that's also me just like pretend, like implying that I think that's what you're feeling.
So I'm sure a lot of your kind of hangups on sex are cultural. Just spend some time on the internet.
Yeah.
Like if you just spend
Watch Broad City.
Yeah,
Like,
literally. I swear to God, just like opening your mind up to, as weird as it sounds, like sexualized media has made the way that I view sex so different and like so benign. I mean, I've said this in videos before and like I've gotten kickback for it, but like my virginity was not something special. Like sex was not something special to me until I found someone that just made it fucking awesome. So like, you know, don't hype it up to be this like big moral compromise you're making where you're having to split your spirit and your body. Just like enjoy it. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be this whole like severance of anything. You can just enjoy sex and also enjoy your life or feel like you're a morally awesome person. It doesn't have to be, it's not mutually exclusive.
And it doesn't carry the weight with each person that you sleep with. Like the person that you end up with, that sexual relationship is obviously going to be held differently than like a one night stand, but that doesn't mean that one is good and one is bad. Like
you can have a sick ass one night stand that you're like, whew, that was amazing. He was psycho, but he's amazing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like you don't ever have to go back to that person.
No.
But like if they're amazing, you had a great time, you go home, great experience, write it down in your journal, wonderful.
Yeah.
You know?
Take control of your sexuality and your like sexual experience and that whole part of your life, because if you just let it be controlled by the people that you're dating, you're not going to have fun. Like you're not going to, I don't know, it's like go to Baskin Robbins, taste all the flavors.
Yeah, taste all of, I mean, also get tested.
Get tested
as well. Taste and test.
Taste and test.
Oh, yes. Oh, wow. What a good philosophy.
We would never get this question from a guy.
No.
And I think that's a shame. And it's a stupid double standard, because it's like a point of pride for a lot of guys, like that you've slept with lots of people and you've had casual sex. So it's a bummer that there's that it's so like one-sided. And I feel like women should feel just as empowered about this as men do.
Yeah.
Right on.
And
Jack,
also,
a feminist.
I love it. A true feminist.
A true feminist.
Honestly, the ideal feminist.
Well, that's like every girl I know will like round their number down and every guy rounds their number up.
That's so true.
Like that's 100% it. Yeah. I think just go for it, and kind of, I think there should be no shame in it. And it's the same thing that I say with anyone who's getting like, not even like saying that you're getting teased, but anyone who feels insecure about anything, the time that people are going to judge you is when you show that you're insecure about something.
Right.
Okay, on to the next call.
Hi, Megan. I'm 20, and I've been in a relationship for 2 years, off and on. And right before him, I was in a long-term relationship that lasted all through high school with this guy. And whenever we broke up a few times, I would end up going back to that guy. And I haven't seen this guy for over a year now. And I'm just wondering, is there any ways to help me forget him or put him out of my mind? It's so bad I now even have dreams sometimes about him, and it's just starting to kill me. I still miss him, and I really don't want to. So could you please help me with this? I greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, you gotta break up with a current boyfriend.
Ooh.
Like, there's no way.
Oof. Yeah, have you told the current boyfriend that you're dreaming about your ex-boyfriend?
Yeah. And if you're having like conscious and subconscious thoughts about another guy, like I don't know. I mean, like I've definitely dated guys and then like still like thought about an ex or whatever. But then for me, that was kind of the telltale sign to be like, wow, we should break up. If I'm like romanticizing a relationship I had forever ago that ended, and I'm like then I'm not mentally present in my current one.
Yeah, no, I agree with you wholeheartedly. It sounds like that, you know, the first love thing kind of shot her
Mhm.
really, really hard.
It does.
Like it can get you sometimes. Like you idealize someone because you're young and in love and the first one and it's
Mhm.
exciting and whatever. And then when you break up and you get back together, it's all drama and it's exciting. But like that's not a healthy relationship and it never will be. And like the fact that you've tested it out and tried it so many times just attests to the fact that you keep saying, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
Like you should know. I 100% agree with you that you shouldn't be with your current partner if you're
Mhm.
fantasizing, I'll use that word,
Yeah.
fantasizing about your previous relationship. But you should maybe think a little bit about where you hold value in your relationships if you are still looking at this guy, this past guy, as someone important in your life.
Yeah, I think there's also something that only comes with time. For me, I put so much on just even honestly for years, my first boyfriend and my first love was that was always going to be like, I don't know, like the top. But then it wasn't until like Mods and I started dating that I'm like, wow, it's not your first love who matters the most. It's the last one. It's the same thing with like losing your virginity. It's not the guy you lose your virginity to or the girl. It's the person who's the last person that you like commit to being like, this is the only one I'm going to sleep with kind of thing. Like that's something that like, I think until it probably took like years and years and years for me to stop, because I would compare every guy I dated, not to the guy I dated previously, but like my first love kind of thing. And I think that's totally normal to kind of always compare that to those, like that first rush of like feelings and physical stuff and all of those things. But I think it's the last one who's far more important. And you'll know when you're suddenly like, oh, you're not gonna have to consciously not think about do you think about the last time you thought about like in a sexual way? But think about how much you used to think about like in a sexual way. Like, oh well, that's me. Exactly. And I think about that. I'm like, I don't think about the guy I lost my virginity to or my first love who are the same person literally ever. But every other relationship I was in, that it would still be in the back of my mind because I was
like a comparative list almost. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think you just need to do some soul searching here. I don't think that's going to work out for you. I also love that you're Southern. I heard that accent.
I heard that too.
I heard that accent. Yeah, I don't know. I think you need to, I think it's time as well.
And be
I think you're
single
right.
for a while.
Yeah, just be single.
Because then I think the whole process of like mourning a relationship, especially when you've gone back over and over and over again, you've never fully gotten over it.
No.
It's like putting like not a real Band-Aid on something and then expecting, why is this not healing? Yeah, it's like getting a zit and just picking on it and be like, why is this not going away?
Like, yeah, because you won't stop fucking bothering it or going back to it.
Exactly. Just fucking leave it alone. So I would try that because I think then you'll be able to look at it more clearly and see his flaws more, and you'll romanticize it a little bit less.
Yeah.
Maybe take some no, don't take melatonin. That makes my dreams worse.
Ooh, yeah.
Take like some Benadryl. Don't dream about him anymore. Or just like watch Game of Thrones before you go to bed.
Sorry, I just got to think about the guy's perspective on this one.
Ooh, yay.
I don't agree she should just dump him right away. I think communication in a relationship is important. And even though this is a really difficult subject, I think it's important to say like, hey, I can't stop thinking about my previous boyfriend because you might be able to get to the bottom of something there. Because
you're saying it might be a problem with them. Like maybe they need to communicate
there might be
about
something. There might be something going on that they might be able to have the opportunity to work through. You're suggesting just breaking up with him like just out of hand, and I don't know if that's the best move. Because, there might just be something going on listen, the grass is always greener a lot of the times when you're in a relationship and you can only remember like the positive things about things and you forget all the flaws. And right now you're with this currently flawed person because we're all flawed. Maybe you just need to work through the flaws. Not saying that's the solution, but if you're unwilling to talk to them and you're just going to break up with them, I don't know, it feels a little cruel. At the very least, I think it's worth a conversation.
I do understand like opening a dialogue, and if it ends in a breakup, then you know how it was supposed to end. But just don't start it with, "Hey, so I've been fantasizing about my ex."
What would you do if a girl
up more problems?
Said that to you? Because also, I think there's something with if she's hung up on like an ex and not problems in her current relationship, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that like, I don't know if you'd manifest your problems in your current relationship with comparing them. If this is more about, if it's not about a problem with her and her boyfriend and she's saying that she can't stop thinking about her ex, for me, that just feels like you're putting a guy in a position of being like, okay, make me want you more than I want my ex. And that to me just then ends up putting it in like a guilty situation of him being like, no, I can do
I'm
better.
not good enough.
I can improve. And because she's not, it's like not giving any criticism to their current relationship. And the only thing is like, you're just not really enough for me, but like, let's keep trying it. And I feel like that just puts the pressure on him to just like, that's so much. Because that's not like that. Like, how do you fit? There's nothing to fix. There's nothing like to do because she doesn't have an issue in their current relationship. Her issue is he's not this other guy.
Okay, so
I wish they could see us sharing.
I know, it's really cute.
The way I would respond to that is, first of all, if I was the boyfriend, I would rather have a candid conversation where it's just like, I don't feel the way that I felt in previous relationships, as opposed to just being broken up with blind. A.
Like, give a reason at least.
And B, I agree that there should be, they're taking a photo. I believe that there should be some like soul searching going on, because I think it's important to like, what is it about this other guy that's so like transfixing you? And then maybe get to the bottom of that and then be like, you know, I wish our relationship had more of fill in the blank, and then have that conversation. I think there's a way to do this delicately. But again, I just think throwing the baby out with the bathwater, we're just like, well, I'm fantasizing about my ex, therefore my current boyfriend isn't cutting it for me, so we have to break up, is a little too black and white for me, personally.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What would you do though if like a significant other told you that they were like, just said that to you though? Because that's my thing. It's like, I take that from like my perspective. I would rather someone break up. I would rather have someone be like, I don't know if it's really working between us. And if I asked like what was going on and they were like, I don't think I'm over my ex. And then I would get to make the, do you know what I mean?
That's really common though.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. I probably, I don't know. I'm very revenge driven. So
that's what in my head I'm like,
I would do something bad.
That's what I mean. I'm far too much of a cunt. If you give me that knowledge, I'm like, well, I can finish the bitch. Like, that's like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, don't give me that power. Right. Like, don't tell me you're still hung up on your ex because I'm going to hang your ex. Like,
I was thinking where I was gonna like, I was about to say, I was about to go in deep. Like, I was about to like, ooh,
because I would feel less than.
Me too. Like, that would fuck me up for all of my future relationships. I think if someone told me that they were still hung up on their ex, I'm like, okay, well, there's nothing I can do. That's on you. This has nothing to do with like me being the issue. But if you're going into a relationship and you're like, this isn't working for me because this is what I had and this is what I liked, and you're just like, great, so you're comparing me to somebody who I'm nothing like, and now I feel super shitty and like I'm not good enough. Because I think if it's like, if she was like fantasizing about like having like really like open like communication. Like I think that would be different than like,
love
do you know what I mean?
open communication.
I really miss how much you would talk to me about your feelings. But I think if you're just romanticizing like a guy and like how you felt for them in general, telling someone else that like you want them to make you feel the way you felt about that person, like that's like, I feel like that's way meaner. Would you want someone to tell you?
Yes, I would want someone to tell me. Because I think
it depends.
Because I have the confidence that I would be like, okay, this isn't so much about me.
See, that's the thing.
It's about their people get hung up on their exes. That happens. And for me, I would look at it as an opportunity to be like, okay, well, what is it about that relationship that you're longing for? And maybe I can try to, work together to fill that void. And then if not, then okay, then we go our separate ways. But I would much rather know that than to be broken up with blind.
Well, I think it's like the 6-month period in most relationships where it's like the shininess has worn off a little bit. And then that's kind of when it sets in of either like this is worth pursuing for longer or it's not. But I think that's just, being conscious of that. And also like this is also something like you can, which I had a hard time understanding. You can break up with somebody or end something with somebody even if they're not a terrible person.
Yes. Like you don't have to villainize everyone that you end up not vibing with, because that's all it is.
Or feel guilty of being like, wow, I just don't, this is just not, there's nothing like wrong with you. There's nothing like really a major issue here. It's just not, I'm not really feeling this anymore. And that's also so okay. The amount of time that I felt guilty about like if I literally would date someone that I'm like, I just think they're kind of boring now. And like now I feel like an asshole because I'm a terrible person because I'm like,
you so don't have to.
No.
It doesn't have to be every time you break up with someone. It doesn't have to be like some big dramatic thing.
They don't have to be going to jail.
No, they don't have to be going to jail. You don't have to be fantasizing about your ex. It can literally just be like, we're not vibing. So it's fine. It's fine. And like, it doesn't mean that you hate that person or that you need to like smear that person
Completely.
in any way. It just means like, we're going to go our
Two
separate
different
ways.
ways.
Yeah.
We're coming to the end. We have a producer's corner.
This week is a little different because because what's special about this week's producer's corner is we have some follow-up calls, and I wanted to highlight some of the follow-up calls that we got. So
Really?
yeah, from previous callers.
Hi, Megan. I'm 19 years old, and I just wanted to call and like check in, I guess. I listened to your podcast about like titty fucking, and I am also part of the Itty Bitty Titty Committee with ABs here, and I can say that, like, I don't know if I guess this counts as titty fucking, but I guess it's, like, what I would do in a titty fucking situation is that, like, when I would go down on the boy, I would, like, graze my boob over, as in I'm, like, going up and down with my mouth. I would use my boobs as well. So I was just letting you know about how little titties can titty fuck.
Wait, where is your body?
Is it
That's
this
what I'm
way?
like a
I think
body
it's
roll?
like
How?
I don't know how you're doing that.
No, it's like
I want a
I need
live
follow-up
demonstration.
Call to this follow-up call.
Could she send a video demonstration? It doesn't have to be with her boyfriend.
he's
No,
using-
you're not going to use a knitting needle.
That's disgusting.
Do
Don't do
not
that to my
ruin that
knitting
knitting needle.
She'll do something with her mouth, and then when she's like in
I
between,
can't look. I can't
she's
look.
taking a
then she'll go
breath.
like that, yeah, and do that. That's what she's saying.
Wait, one more time. Wait, can I
Stay
do a
there.
boomerang?
Do it again. Come
Right.
on.
It's for socials.
Explain
It's for
it.
socials.
Explain it.
Jack, it's for content.
It's
Jack,
for
it's
fun.
promo.
No, absolutely.
Please,
not.
please.
You're going to titty fuck that
You're not
beautiful
gonna titty
needle?
fuck it?
So Jack has, Megan has these like foot-long pink
Okay. I'm
knitting
gonna boomerang
needles.
it. You only got a little bit of time.
Go.
And
Ready?
so
go.
we're
Two,
making a
three, go.
demonstrative video where
Let's
Jack
take a
is
picture. One more
putting
time.
them
Okay.
between
put it
his
between your boobs.
pectoral muscles
Like
Okay.
pectoral muscles.
And go.
Like that.
and then
That's how you do
titty
it.
fucking
Yeah.
the needle.
But how long is this dick? Like,
That's what I'm saying. That's
Unless-
what
really long.
also,
Really
most
long
dicks, it doesn't go
knitting
straight up. It's kind of an out situation
Yeah.
for some people. Not all.
There you go. You happy?
I saved it. I'm gonna do it
Fantastic.
when the episode's
That's
live.
Yeah, we're gonna put it
Fascinating.
in the description for the show.
I love how like Lily. Hold on, our next guest Lily's here and she doesn't have headphones and she's like, "The fuck are you talking about?"
Oh my god! I just realized
Yeah.
that. Oh my god! I'm so sorry.
It's been the weirdest thing ever. She's only like, "What are you doing with these knitting needles?" And all I hear is you being like, "So her titties." But no, so she's
She's
saying
grazing.
she's going up as she said as we've got some keywords here. As she's going up and down with her, as she's like using her mouth, whatever. She's also going up and down with her boobs.
Oh, I just realized something. We're missing the whole position.
Okay, so what? Okay,
Is he lying down?
Yes,
That's what it is.
because then there's titty drop.
Yeah.
There's a graze if you're lying down.
Yeah.
There's a
wait.
graze.
But if she's going up and down,
She's still going up and down. Yeah, I think he's lying down.
He's lying down, but how are her boobs still touching his dick if her mouth is also touching his dick?
Maybe it's like a longer hand motion. A full.
So is he laying down and you're kneeling, like on the ground?
No. I'm saying like you're over him, given the eyes. I'm saying that's
those eyes?
position. Yeah, that's my suggested blowjob position.
He's so inquisitive. It's very much like, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing this.
You gonna come?
Do you see what's going on?
This is as good as it's gonna get.
I'm down here.
You never want to have sex with me. That's what you've learned. You will never want to have sex with me.
I don't understand how, I still don't get how this works. But think about this. Okay, think about him. I wish this was a fucking video so I could like make you mount me and we could see what this looks like. Literally, literally imagine laying.
We can do it.
Okay, can we try this?
Yeah,
I think that would probably be.
They're gonna do a demonstration.
Okay. Okay. Also, now I want this girl. We asked the other girl to send us a DM on Instagram of what drugs her boyfriend sold and where they lived.
Right.
This girl, I want you. I don't need you to show me with a real dick, but I want you to show me Draw a picture or show me with some
remote.
phallic
Visual
looking
aid.
thing. Because we want to know if we're even remotely close.
Yes.
Because I kind
Remotely.
of remotely.
Hey, all right.
I love the idea if we're super fucking off. Oh, remotely? We did it. We demonstrated with the remote.
Yeah.
You made me explain the joke? Okay. Jack wants the mic. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'll be back.
We should explain. We shot a small clip.
It was big.
It was a lot. Big production lights.
We shot a small clip where Arden laid on the ground and played the guy using a remote as the phallus, and then Megan climbed on top to try to figure out how mechanically this was working, and then Mel thankfully volunteered,
really stole the show,
volunteered and showed us the proper technique, and I think you cracked the code.
I think so.
I think she got it.
I think so.
Anyway, we're gonna upload this clip somewhere because it's too funny not to.
I will say, Mel, you got bigger titties than both of us.
That's
the
what
other
I was
thing.
gonna say,
That's part of
mine
what I
are-
was thinking.
That's what I
like,
was thinking. It was
I'm
an
like in the middle.
Yeah.
Like,
No, you got titties.
but they're
You have them
like
titties,
they're
though.
not big though.
But you're like you're not in the committee.
Yeah.
Like
You can't sit with
you
us.
can't fucking sit with us.
Damn it.
So, but I would love if we're just super fucking off and there's one way that's like super obvious, that's like easy as hell, and we've like made, and she's like,
Completely
you've
missed
made
it.
this way more complex
Completely
than it
missed
is.
it. I
So-
still think it's something to do with the hands.
But then is she just holding up with her core like the whole time?
I mean, I gotta say, you can get pretty tantric.
You can, but I'm just also wondering, this sounds like something that like is a part of her like routine in which I'm like, you must not need to work out.
I think of sex as a workout.
That's what I mean. Like
that's when I work out.
Homegirl's definitely on that boat.
My bed is my gym.
I bet it's a gem.
So, actual things, sometimes when I'm having sex, I'm like, my ass is going to be so great after this.
Like, I am working out so hard.
Just
Get
getting
them
that
glutes.
core. I'm like, yes.
Who needs Pilates?
He's like, you're enjoying this? I'm like, oh, am I?
Look at my abs. I look amazing. Yeah. I'm so yoked. We're going to wrap it up now, guys. Arden, thank you so much for... Here, take your sip. I'm going to talk about how great you are while you take a sip of that. Yeah.
Nailed it.
Thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me on.
Can I crash your podcast?
You can crash on my couch.
Couch.
podcast any day. Literally any day. We need to start having guests. You know, we've never had a guest on Crash on My Couch.
We just started having guests, and it's only people that I'm friends with, because I'm like, who's gonna get on? Like, really, like, I need someone who's going to let me mount them and like pretend to titty fuck them. I can't have any people that I'm like, oh, I don't know them, because I'm gonna be like, yo, can I pretend to fuck you
Is that
with
cool
my breasts
or
not?
Sign this NDA. I don't know. It's like
50
the small
Shades
print
up
was
in here.
really weird. Yeah, there's something on a remote, a titty fuck. I was very
Yeah.
confused.
I got rectums.
Yeah, but no, thank you for having me on. It was awesome. I
so
love just being
glad.
able to talk about all this kind of stuff all the time.
That's so good. Where can people find you across the internet and in real life? Social security number.
Ooh, good point.
Yeah.
Last 4 digits are.
Is that the only part you know?
Yes.
Me too.
100%. Those are the only. That's the 100%. That's the only parts that I need to know.
Me too.
I text my dad anytime I need it.
Oh yeah, same.
I'm one of those. No, but you can find me on YouTube, Arden Rose, Instagram, Arden Rose, Twitter, Arden Rose. I have a podcast, Crash on My Couch, if you would like more shit like this. Although Will, my boyfriend, is a lot more polite than me.
Ooh.
So
It's okay.
yeah, but he has a very melodious British accent, which is the fun part. Although he does say 3 as free.
Frey.
So if that annoys you, I'm sorry.
I can tell it annoys you so much.
No, it really doesn't. In fact, I think it's really cute. But either way, if you would like to listen to that, Crash on My Couch, it's a fun time. Yeah, Mr. My President Season 2 coming soon. You can see me. You can see you.
Yeah.
Very soon.
Oh, I don't even know this. Where can people watch that if they haven't watched it before?
Go 90. You can download the app.
Yes.
It's delightful.
And it's free.
It is free, and you can watch all of the first season as well if you want to go binge that before the second season comes out. You're welcome, guys.
Hell yeah.
And that's cool. Yay.
Yay. Amazing. Thanks for being on here.
Thank you for having me.
Amazing. We'll have to have you back.
Please. Anytime you need someone to be a dick for you.
We're also about to rotate through all of the people I like really quickly. So they're just going to have to come back.
Anytime. Well, we'll have to do a tit for tat thing.
Tit for tit.
You come over to mine.
I love that. Yay! We should record this one with a camera next time too. People can see how much Arden and I have grabbed our boobs.
Such a good point.
If you guys enjoyed this and you're like, yo, I want to hear my voice on the air talking about my titties, then you can leave us a voicemail at 310-694-0976. Yeah, that only took me 15 tries, but we're not including all of those other ones. Maybe we will. And if you're an international caller, if you're British, if you're Arden's boy, if you're Will and you want to call in. And
Will.
Hey, Will.
Can you imagine him just like masking his voice trying to get on this?
Hello! I'm Max William.
Nice name.
Max William. It's really indie.
Max Williams
very
is very
Pinterest.
I like it.
His brother's name is like Forrest Houston, something like that. Very Pinterest.
Apple Drive.
Love. You guys can leave us a email. And so just record a voice memo on your phone, email it to meganpodcast@gmail.com, and we can play it on the air. That would be great. But again, make sure to keep your problems concise, which, I mean, it's hard. Everyone's telling you to downplay your problems. We're just telling you to talk about them with enough context, but not so long that we forget the point of your call, which we didn't do this time.
Yeah.
This was good.
This was really
we
good.
had some great ones.
Yeah.
So we would love that. And if you're a follow-up caller, same thing. Check in with us. If you have any feedback on other calls, if you have some input, if you know how to titty fuck with tiny tits, would love to know. Would love to know. Love to know. Please advise next steps. Yeah, awesome, guys. I will see you all in 2 weeks. Adios. I also want to start my new sign off for everything I do. I want to say adios, fuckers. But I spelled adios wrong in an end card, and now no one will let me live it down.
That's perfect. This is your way to like.
I'm redeeming myself.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
also, I literally defended myself 5 times before I saw the spelling error in adios. And there's only like 5 letters. And I was like, it's not spelled wrong. And
How
I was
did
like,
you spell it wrong? Did you add an E?
No, I just switched. Switched something. An I and an O. I switched them around.
Ardoise.
It's
French.
Antoine. Oh, okay, guys. Goodbye.
Don't Blame Me is a production by me, produced and directed by Jack Ferry, associate producer Melissa DeMons, edited by Melissa DeMons, post-production sound by Chris Henry, and music by Giacomo Picasso and Ryan Hunter. I will see you guys in 2 weeks, and don't blame me if your life bursts into flames before then.
As a podcast network, our first priority has always been audio and the stories we're able to share with you. But at Realm, we also sell some pretty cool merch, and organizing that was made both possible and easy with Shopify. When you think about successful businesses like Aloe or Allbirds or Skims, an often overlooked secret is the business behind the business that makes selling and, for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. That's because nobody does selling better than Shopify. It's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret secret that's definitely worth talking about is that Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%. That's more happy customers and way more sales going. If you're hoping to grow your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
Welcome to the small town of Chinook, where faith runs deep and secrets run deeper. In this new thriller, religion and crime collide when a gruesome murder rocks the isolated Montana community. Everyone is quick to point their fingers at a drug-addicted teenager, but local deputy Ruth Vogel isn't convinced. She suspects connections to a powerful religious group. Enter federal agent V.B. Lauro, who has been investigating a local church for possible criminal activity. The pair form an unlikely partnership to catch the killer, unearthing secrets that leave Ruth torn between her duty to the law, her religious convictions, and her very own family. But something more sinister than murder is afoot, and someone is watching Ruth.
Chinook, starring Kelly Marie Tran and Sanaa Lathan. Listen to Chinook wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, I'm Jennifer, a founder of the Go Kid Go network. At Go Kid Go, putting kids first is at the heart of every show that we produce. That's why we're so excited to introduce a brand new show to our network called The Search for the Silver Lining, a fantasy adventure series about a spirited young girl named Isla who time travels to the mythical land of Camelot. Look for The Search for the Silver Lining on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Do you love Disney? Do you love top 10 lists? Then you are going to love our hit podcast, Disney Countdown. I'm Megan, the Magical Millennial.
And I'm the Dapper Danielle.
On every episode of our fun and family-friendly show, we count down our top 10 lists of all things Disney. The parks, the movies, the music, the food, the lore. There is nothing we don't cover on our show.
We are famous for rabbit holes, Disney-themed games, and fun facts you didn't know you needed.
I had Danielle and Megan record some answers to seemingly meaningless questions. I asked Danielle what insect song is typically higher pitched in hotter temperatures and lower pitched in cooler temperatures.
You got this.
No, I didn't.
Don't believe that. About a wish coming true? Well, I didn't either. Of course, I'm just a
cicada. I'm crying. I'm so sorry, Jiminy.
You win that one.
So if you're looking for a healthy dose of Disney magic, check out Disney Countdown wherever you get your podcasts.